This is the PL-89 Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar for Tuesday, November 11th, 2025, and it is the third day of the week, the 20th day of Cheshvan of 5786. The Parsha is Chayesara, and the Daf Yomi is Zevachim 58. Right, 58. This is the PL-89 calendar, a lunar and a solar calendar that is geared, is focused, and its aim is to concentrate the calculation and computation of gematria to gather information. And that's just one way of saying it. But there's other purposes as well, and it might be called a theory of everything presented in calendar form. Basically, all these boxes have numbers, and it's not in order of 1 through 10. It starts with 8, and then you add 9. The second one is 17, and then you add 8, and then you add 9, and 8 and 9. It goes 8 plus 9, 8 plus 9, 8 plus 9, 8 plus 9. And the cutoff point is 40. So it's 8 plus 9, 8 plus 9, and when it hits 40, it resets. So 8, 17, 25, 34, 2, 11, 19, 28, 36, 5, 13, 22, 30, 39, 7, like that. 8 plus 9, 8 plus 9, 8 plus 9, and it's always resetting when it hits 40. And there's reasons for these rules. They're based on biblical ideas, on verses and passages in the Bible, and themes and concepts to be explained at a different time. But, hopefully. And I explain them actually all the time. I explain little bits here and there, so I'm continuously explaining, but just for time, I'll stick to today's numbers. Today's numbers on this calendar, Cheshvan, since it's a lunar and solar calendar, both Cheshvan and November, the month we're in, Hebrew and English respectively, starts here, and it's in the third dispensation, in D3, in dispensation 3, which we're in right now. The fixed months, if you're familiar with astrology, fixed months are months like November, February, May, and August. Those are fixed months. Or you could say Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus, and Leo. Those are the fixed months. And in D3, meaning dispensation 3, all the fixed months are what start the calendar. There's 3 dispensations, and each dispensation starts the calendar from here. And so it's based on a teaching that I remember, my interpretation of a teaching of Rabbi Yitzchak Ginsburg, of something called Seter. And in Hebrew there's a word called Seter. It's like a secret or hidden. Seter. Yoshev b'Seter Elyon, who sits in a hidden place. Seter is an acronym. Samach stands for Sof, Taf stands for Toch, and Resh stands for Rosh. Sof means the end. Toch means within, or the middle of it, middle. And Resh stands for Rosh, the beginning. And there's 3 permutations of this combination. There's 3 combinations of this. You could say beginning, middle, and end. You could say end, beginning, and middle. That's how it actually started. And it's ending off with middle, end, beginning. And it's, I don't know if you can call it ironic or interesting or what have you, but we're ending off with it being in the middle. There might be a message in that. And I compare that to a dream. I don't know if it's the same with everybody, but this is how it is with me, but I've heard it from people. You seldom, I don't think you remember when your dream starts. You just find yourself in it. think about whenever you have a dream, you're just there already. There's no one that's opening up the curtains or the opening credits, and they say, "Okay, we're starting your dream now." Maybe if you had a dream like that, I would love to hear from you, because I think I don't know if that ever happens. But even so, you're still seeing as someone that's presenting it. You're still there already, and okay. You're had a dream about driving in a car, and you're looking at the windows, like a desert freeway, and you're driving. You find yourself there. It's not like we're going, okay, scene one and action, let's go, and now this is happening. No, it's just you're there already. So I think I've heard this is from many people that when you're in a dream, you're already just in it. There's no start of a dream. And the end sometimes is when you wake up. But we really need to have a dream meter to see, what time of night it started and when it finished and how long it actually took. It might be just a few seconds, but in your mind it felt longer. But anyway, all that kind of went off of that long tangent to say that as we bring this 14-year journey to a close. I started this in 2012, and this is really the last year that it's finishing its term, its completion. There's 3 dispensations. The first, and it halved at every point, but which is interesting, by the way, is that when this halved, it correlated to when Bitcoin halved. Aside from one time in 2016 when it halved in middle, but what I mean is that Bitcoin halves every so often, every 4 years or something, and so in 2012 Bitcoin halved, and 2012 is when this started. It's calendar, and then it halved again in 2016. Okay, but it was still going through. So, but then it halved again in 2020. And then when 2020 was dispensation 2, it was when it shifted the arrangements of which month came first. Then it was the cardinal months that came first over here. So it was April, May, June, July, August, September, like that. How you would think it would start, but that was in the middle. So in the middle, it went into the beginning, middle, end. And now that we're actually at the end, okay, so 2020 it halved, and then Bitcoin halved again in 2024, and this also changed in 2024. And each dispensation went for 8 years, and then it went for 2 years, 4 years, and then it halved each time. So 8 years was the first dispensation, 4 years the second one, and now 2 years, which means that we're at the end of this 2 years. It's November now, so we have December, January, February, March, April, and then May. So we have about 6 months left to this calendar. After that, I'm not saying I won't use it, but let's just say a significant thing will be completed. So I'm kind of excited about that. And whenever I've had these terminations, when I was working on the 752 squares, I'm working on it since Hanukkah time of 2019. And I think it was December 26th, the 28th day of Kislev. It was Hanukkah time, the 4th day of Hanukkah, the 3rd day, 25, 26, 27, 20. Yeah, the 4th day of Hanukkah in 2019 in Tafshin Ayin Tes. And it went up until the end of 24. And I knew at the end, the end of this year, it's going to be done. Kislev time or December Hanukkah time of 2024, it's done. And guess what happened in 2025? I moved to Israel. So, I receive these things intuitively. Well, so a few months happened after that, but the preparation started in February time. Let's say February time, March, February time, but really February time of 2025. So, but I knew a year in advance. I said, when we get to the end of 24, we're going to be finishing up the 752 squares, and it's over. And a little bit of time passed by, and now I'm in Israel, and that's a major change. And so all I'm saying is that these intuitions come to me, and they usually play out the way they're told to me. So anyway, this thing will be done. We finish, God willing, 14 years in ER, the Omer time of 2026 of 5786. So that's exciting, and I hope there's some people that at that point we can discuss different options of how this can be applied. But anyway, coming back to this thing here, today is it's at nighttime now, but it was the 20th day of Cheshvan. So the 20th day of Cheshvan on this calendar is box 10. Okay, box 10. So remember I was telling you about the 8+9 and the cutoff at 40? Well, that's not the only time 40 comes into play. 40 is a big player in this calendar in several ways, but one of them is in the rule of 40. The rule of 40 means that any one of these boxes from 1 through 40, and it goes 1 through 40 twice, presented as 8+9, 8+9, but it covers all numbers because it goes around the cycle again. So it covers all the numbers, but it's just arranged in different ways. So the rule of 40 is that any one of these numbers from 1 through 40 on this calendar, you can add 40 to it and it stays in the same file. That's how I like to put it. It stays the same. So let's just say if it's 10, or box 10, you add 40, it becomes 50. 50 goes right in there. 90, 130, 170, 210, okay? 2,000,010, infinity and 10. So basically, that's you're going from 0 or 1 to infinity, and you're using 40 as that plumb line. That's the measuring line. The 40 keeps that in that focus. And so that means if, let's just say, I came up with a number that was 2010, then it would fit right in here. Yeah? 810 would be right here. Okay. So what happened today that has to do with 10? Well, in this rule of 40, then 50 is equal to 10, right? So today I was on YouTube and I clicked on a certain podcast that I haven't seen for a while, but started last year, called Greeting Mashiach podcast by, this thing's name is Simcha Fish and Levi Polachenko, but his name was, today it was just Levi doing the podcast himself. But it was episode 50. So this is very interesting. This is how the Gematriona works, that you come to the day, and the thing that happened in the day can be traced to the day of the calendar. So if it's episode 50, and I'm in box 50, aka box 10, so that's very interesting. So are these things, can you harness this algorithm? Can you use this in a greater level? Okay, that has to do with the 20th of Cheshvan. Okay, but what about the 11th of November? 11th of November, you're going to be in box 13 here. So what's 13 about today? I don't really know. So you just add 40, and you see like what could it be? 53? Anything? Simcha is 53. Simcha is the brother-in-law, I think, of Levi Polachenko. I just came here right now. 93. 133, 173. 173 is the gematria of Vitalik Buterin, who is the leader, who is the founder of Ethereum, the cryptocurrency, and that is connected to Tuesdays. In this system, it's connected to Tuesdays. So 173 would be a descendant of 13. So you can see how it goes. Ruvain Wolf is equal to 173. He's a Chabad rabbi, who is very much involved with Mashiach. So that's kind of like, that would connect with greeting Mashiach. Next, 173. Anything more 173? No, you move on. 213, 253 is Avner, but I don't know what that's to do with anything. 293 is more. There's many more things I'm saying. It's just 293, 293, 333, 373. 373 is the Bank of America on Sunset and Vine. I don't live in LA anymore, but when I would be in that area, I would go to that bank. It's bank number 373. The corner of over there on Sunset and Vine. I'm seeing it right now. I went in there one time and someone said I looked like Jeremy Piven. I don't know. I don't see it, but maybe a little bit. 373. 413 is the Gematria of Elisheva. 413. 473. 513 is the area code of Cincinnati. 573 is the area code of somewhere in Missouri. 613. 613 mitzvos in the Torah. 673, I have no idea. 713 is the area code of Houston, Texas. And also is Gematria of Tshuva. let's continue on. 753 is, I have no idea. 793, no idea. 813, Vayavdel Elohim ben Or ben Choshech. I think so. All right. I think we'll stop it here. But I think you get the idea by now.